Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back. This is the full moon reading for April 19th, 2019. I thought I would start by looking at the stars for a second. And this chart is cast for a New York location, but the ascendant will be different based on where you are based. So I want to call out a couple of things. You see here, the sun is conjunct Uranus in opposition with the moon here in Libra, which will shortly thereafter. So this moon is going to move quickly into Scorpio. So that's kind of a quick shift of energy. In addition, over here we have Mercury, which just entered Aries yesterday. I'm recording this on the Thursday, and you should have felt it. It would have felt like all of a sudden you wanted to fight with everybody and took everything as kind of a challenge, like them, those are fighting words kind of energy. And it'll take a few days for that to die down. And you should be careful also because you see this Mercury is coming up on Chiron here. So be careful of the things that you say because they may, when this conjuncts, words will wound. And that goes for you and goes to the people that you speak to. So just pay attention a couple days after, so probably like the 21st of April when you get messages, they're not necessarily intended to hurt you, but they may. This Venus here will shift as well. So you see that this planet just moved, this planet's just moving, this is about to move, this is about to move. And then over here we have this, which is causing almost all of the cardinals, well, actually, it is causing all of the cardinals a lot of tension because it's in opposition with Cancer. It's squaring Aries and squaring Libra. So if those are any of your significant planets fall in the 20 to 23 range and give yourself 5 before and 5 after, this is what's causing most of the upheaval, I would say, in your life because you have Pluto, which is the slow transformer. Something must die to be reborn, but it's a slow process. This is where you'll notice some great transformation in your life. In Capricorn, it will have to do with foundations, institutions. South Node is traveling here, and you see it's kind of sandwiched in between these two. South Node goes through your past and releases it, so it dumps it out. But first, you have to dig it up. And then Saturn is where we learn our lessons. So this little trio here is tough energy. And it's not really square to this moon, but it is. It's very wide. We would never use 10 degrees for that Saturn. The Pluto's close, so it'll have like a shading of it, but it won't be that dramatic. What is dramatic, however, is the relationship to Uranus. Now, Uranus opposite moon is the sun is what you want and the moon is what you need. So when this happens, you may suddenly change what you want, like what you thought you wanted. All of a sudden, you don't want anymore. And this will also be a sudden shift in what you need. This is the kind of energy that has to do with getting to the altar and realizing that you don't want to be married anymore, that you need to be alone. So this can bring some very sudden reversals in things that you thought were established, particularly because Uranus is in Taurus right now. So he's sending earthquakes through the ground. So the ground will shake. And with all these planets shifting, I feel like this is going to be a 2-week period with a lot of movement, where there may be a lot of upheaval, a lot of sudden reversals. These two planets are about to go retrograde. So just hold on. As with everything, all transits pass. Now let's take a look at what the cards have to say about this moon. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards for this full moon at 29 degrees Libra, opposite Sun, 29 degrees in Aries. Now, the Sabian for the Sun is a clear mountain stream. And the Sabian for the moon is a crowded sightseeing bus on a city street. Now these, sometimes we get Sabians for the lunations that are really in harmony, these are very different energies, you know. So the sun is, I'll take both. Okay. And like I was saying, there's very different energies going on. So, you know, we can feel like we're in a tug of war right now, between wanting to escape to a clear mountain stream and being stuck in our crowded, you know, the image, oh goodness, the image of a crowded sightseeing bus is really claustrophobic, you know. And it's also invasive, because if you think tourists, they're not actually, they don't live there, so they don't think about necessarily the repercussions of what their tourism does. And if you think about a clear mountain stream mixing with a sightseeing bus of people, you know, it could be damaging. So I think there's some issues of, I'll take this one. I'm using a new deck. It's called the Nature Spirit, and or the Native Spirit, excuse me. I wanted to use it because I like it for the lunations, because it's inspired by Native American imagery. So I thought it would be a little bit helpful in dealing with the moons. But there, as I said, there's these two very different opposing energies where it's like part of us wants to escape to the clear mountain stream, but for some reason we need to be in this busy collective image. So, you know, is the question, are we running away from ourselves? Are we bending too much to the collective? Interesting. Two more cards, please, for this full moon. Where are our wants and needs not aligning, and how do we bring them into, how do we balance those two things of trying to be a peaceful individual in a really chaotic world? This may be a time of retreat, of, you know, quiet reflection, letting time and nature go through its process of understanding. Interesting. The Justice, that's a Libra card, you know, and there's two major arcana, so that's a big one. Understanding that perhaps each has its place, even though they seem so different, that one has something to give to the other, that maybe there is a discovery in understanding why one needs or why we want to be alone in the clear mountain stream, but we're stuck, or we need the crowded collective, to understand what each of those brings, a process of personal discovery of who we are also in, you know, the crowded sightseeing bus. An individual can get lost. These are insane cards here. So first of all, three major arcana, ending up with the Queen of Wands. She keeps coming up every single week, or in the past few readings. So, you know, there's a lot of power that comes through self-discovery. There's also, if you look at this, the Hermit's on his way out, right? Everyone else is facing forward, and the Queen is looking that way. So she's got an eye on the future. And the Hermit is, what he was looking for, what he was searching for is in this direction. So I feel like you might be coming out of this moment, right? You may be stuck here in reflection, in processing the past, in understanding what happened, what you were chasing, and what it's worth, and now you've evaluated what it is that you want, and and brought those into balance. Now the Chariot is about dominating those two powers here, and he's managed to put head and heart on the same level. He's ready to move forward. This is a very earthly card also. It's not very spiritual. It's in terms of human domination on this planet. So it's almost like you have taken this spiritual path and are learning now how to integrate it into an actual earthly manifestation, right? So how do I bring things from the other world or from the other experience or from my soul and bring them actually into the physical so that I can shine as myself? And one of the things they say also about that sun, clear mountain stream image is that it talks about pure manifestation of one's natural state of being. So it's about also embracing who you are. Like I was saying before, the idea of the crowded sightseeing bus is that you can get lost in the collective and you can feel like just another face in the crowd. And really what it's saying is that there's something very special that you have to offer, by figuring out, what it was that you had, what was your gift that you were going to bring to the world, even though you maybe thought that gift was inappropriate. Like, what gift can this person bring a cat? But there is something. So it's like, what was inside of your soul that, even though, and there's a lot of animals here, like bringing up the animals. So I don't know who is thinking about like sort of veterinary job shift, but that seems to be quite supported here because there's a human with animals and taking care of animals here. So if whoever that message is for, if you're thinking about moving into veterinary sciences, or that seems to be very much supported here. Now let's read this card for a second, because I don't want to, it's a new deck, so I don't want to bring the wrong messages. Okay, so this one says, take time for contemplation, turn within, which is interesting because it's literally right over the Hermit. Connect with your ancestors, incubate ideas, mend relationships, watch your dreams, meditate. The answers are inside you waiting to be heard. Stay warm, create dreams for your future. Repair whatever is broken in your home and your life. Forgive those people and situations that you've been dragging around for a while. Your native spirit wants you to know, in the medicine wheel, the north is the direction that symbolizes the darkest time of the night, the coldest part of the winter, the dark of the moon. So it's kind of like the dark night of the soul, maybe coming to an end, that you've been in this energy here, this triangle of pain and suffering for quite some time. And like the spring, because they call this the pink moon, because it's when the new things start to visibly grow, like the grass and the pink flower. It's called the pink moon because there's a pink flower, I think it's called fox or something like PHOX, that starts to come, and that's why it's a pink moon. So pulling the spirit keeper of the north indicates that it's time to take measure of your life, explore what's working and what's not, what and whom do you need to release. It's also the time to make repairs in your physical environment as well as repairs to your body. Additionally, this is the time to begin to dream and make plans regarding your future. Okay, so it's like, what's inside of me that brings, what gets me that little shining star there? What's in there that gets me to shine like this? Let me continue. Your ancestors are close to you at this time. Call on them. They want to help you. If you live in the southern hemisphere and draw this card, the meanings are reversed. So a journey, stand outdoors at night, facing north. Inhale the darkness. Sink into your own depth. In the stillness, ancient wisdom emerges. Okay, so that's quite interesting. That sort of follows with that. But as I said, there's a clear shift both in the chart and also in these cards, because there's this sort of past story that's going on, which is isolated and painful and laborious and dark. And then over here, there's pink, there's growth, there's light, there's lots of flowers, things of nature. It feels like a much lighter energy. And let's have a look at this discovery card for a second. because it's, I, the card says it itself, but I want to make sure I get you can tell that like it's the discovery of what lies at your heart, and here it's like what that light that he's holding, the examination that maybe the in the darkness, whatever darkness you were going through, there may have been one element of light that kept you alive, and that's something that lies at your heart. And so the point is to discover now what's in your heart that you can bring into the reality, or into the 3D. So yes, this one is key IDs: leaving the past behind, readiness for a new adventure, willingness to venture into uncharted territory. So it's all about getting rid of the past. Yeah, okay. Pink recognizes that Petunia's role in his life has been to expand his capacity to love. Okay, so I get the love what you do, the sentence, just love what you do. So even if you're not in a position to, like, you have to have a job that doesn't fulfill you, which we all do at some point, it's not, we have side hustles because we love it, but very rarely do they turn into the thing unless we give it lots of time to manifest. But there is something that lies at your heart that's a gift that you might not perceive as a gift because you think that it's not suitable, or that no one would want it, or I don't even know what I would offer them. But it actually is something that is beneficial, not only to you, but also to others. So don't assume that what you have is not, there's all these artists and stuff. I'm doing a course on the tarot, and the original Rider-Waite deck that was designed by Pamela Coleman Smith, this is the updated one, but that first deck actually was not a success. And they died before their version of the tarot actually became something important. And if you think about Van Gogh, lived his entire life, he sold one painting. So when he commits suicide, he did so because he felt like such a failure in life. And actually, I mean, think about it now. So unfortunately, our gift to the universe is not always evident to us immediately in our lifetime. We may not see the fruits of our labors, but it doesn't mean that they're not important for some reason. So whenever you are doing something that you love and something that's in your heart that speaks to you and makes you feel powerful, that is your gift to the rest of the universe. And that's what, you don't need to do it, but that helps you expand your own energy and make yourself feel better, and make you feel like that clear mountain stream in this crowded sightseeing bus on a city street, right? So there is a specific gift that you have that the universe is asking you to begin to share, whether or not it turns into, the next unicorn software or whatever. It may not have the material success that you imagine, right? So it may not be what you want, but it may be what you need. So I would encourage you to find what it is that lies at your heart, because that feels to me like it's the key out of this dark night of the soul, to really throw yourself into the things that you love and that you care about, even if they bring nothing, because what they will do, they don't bring nothing. They may bring nothing on a conceptual material plane, but they will bring you this incredible sense of power. I mean, look at these cards. That's just like it. The surety, the confidence, the personal empowerment. Nothing's going to knock these people out of their chairs. So find what it is that makes you feel that way and do that, even if it's not going to bring you riches or bring you what you think it's going to bring you. That's your gift. and it will bring you a sense of power and strength that it looks like has been missing for a long time. Okay, hope this was helpful. I will see you at the next reading.